Hey, this is Brian again, and I'd like to ask you to do a favor. We can't do this work without people like you, so if you can, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about Bring Back the Porch.
These puppets were actually handmade by a member of the Siksika Nation. Her name's Laura Asham. She had created these with her bare hands, which is amazing because they are beautiful. Her attention to detail was incredible. And I really do appreciate that she included, Métis culture, not just, Cree or one specific culture. It kind of reaches out to more children in the community, which is wonderful. So the belt is just to represent that.
The Métis Nation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This episode of Bring Back the Porch brought to you by Bernie Leahy, River Street Realty. Let's get you home.
Welcome to Bring Back the Porch. I have some very special guests here from the Core Association. I have Kayla Hurry and Corbin Mayer. They are joining us today with some very special guests. We have Kokum and Jamie. Welcome to Bring Back the Porch.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's really neat to have such special guests here today. I want to start with you, Corbin. Could you tell me about Jamie, who he is?
So Jamie is a grandchild of Kokum. He's one of the Indigenous puppets.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've, used them for all the practices.
Cool.
And that we've done.
So you are going to be doing some shows all summer long, and Jamie's going to be with you performing, and you, Kayla, you're going to be with Kokum. Is that right?
We're going to have some more puppeteers. So we have 4 Indigenous puppets.
Oh, okay.
2 are Cree puppets, 2 are Métis puppets.
Okay.
Corbin has one of the 2 Métis grandchildren. Mm-hmm. Kokum might have another puppeteer. I might fill in with Kokum. She is the grandmother, and she likes to teach her grandchildren about protocols for harvesting sage and drumming and songs and just life in Saratoga Park.
Now, does Jamie have a special voice that he uses when he puppets? How does he sound?
No, it's just my voice.
Well, that's a good voice.
But I sometimes, in practices, like to bring out my inner child to make the puppet seem like it's alive.
Could you give us a demonstration of something that Jamie and Kokum might do when they're doing a show?
Sure.
Okay. Take a breath.
Do you want me to say one of the lines?
Sure.
Do you know why we harvest sage?
For smudging.
Now, he's wearing a very specific costume, and I can see the Métis symbols with the infinity sign and the red belt. How did you guys come up with the design for Jamie?
So these puppets were actually handmade by a member of the Siksika Nation. Her name's Laura Asham. She had created these with her bare hands, which is amazing because they are beautiful. Her attention to detail was incredible. And I really do appreciate that she included, Métis culture, not just, Cree or one specific culture. It kind of reaches out to more children in the community, which is wonderful. So the belt is just to represent that.
The Métis Nation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the floral design, it looks like beadwork, but I guess it's just, for practical purposes, it's probably just cloth.
Yeah, absolutely. Except for the little,
right?
The little moccasins.
Yeah.
They're wonderful.
Yeah, that's a lot of detail to put into something.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know that you guys, much like us, thought, oh, let's see if we can get some funding, and went and got a community vibrancy grant.
Yes.
Tell us about the process of doing that and being awarded, the ability to create these kinds of things.
Core Association reached out to the city of Medicine Hat and said that, we want to bring awareness to Indigenous culture. We want to include the children and utilize these beautifully handmade puppets. So, I assume they introduced these wonderful puppets and just came up with this incredible idea to share these all summer long with the kids in the community, and just bring teachings and culture to the young people, and even kids that aren't Indigenous or they're not Métis. It's good for everybody to understand. It's good to share the language and the teachings with a little bit of everybody.
Jamie and I were Corbin and I were talking before. That you're going to have shows Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that's all around Medicine Hat, right?
Yes.
So people should be looking for Kokum and Jamie, and just kind of give me an idea of how long are these shows going to take? Like, are they half an hour? Are they 15 minutes? If people are bringing young children, their attention spans might not be that long. So just how long does the puppet show take?
So the puppet shows take roughly, what do you say, Corbin, like 15 minutes?
Yeah, I would say 15 minutes. We have done it in less if we don't have a stoppage in between. We'll do less than 15 minutes, but if we do have stoppage, it's like 15 minutes max.
So it's perfect for if you're just kind of coming to the park and you happen to come along and see them. You sit down, enjoy the show, and maybe learn something. So I know you've had other puppets. What's the reaction of kids when they see the puppets and want to interact with them? Are they pretty excited, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, a lot of them actually want to touch the puppets, so we will give them a glove, which is what I'm wearing right now, to put on, so they can just touch it and feel it, and maybe just talk with the puppet, and then they hand it off to the next person. So yeah, kids get really excited about puppets.
I can imagine. So how many puppets do you have at Core Association now?
Well, for the ones that aren't Indigenous, I think we have like about 21.
So you've got a whole cast of characters.
Yeah, and then for the Indigenous puppets, we only have 4.
Yeah. Well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
So the glove that you wear, can you kind of explain why that's important to wear gloves when you're handling with puppets?
Yes. So, we wear gloves so we don't get the oils and the germs on our hands. They were protected by the gloves we wear.
Does it make you sort of get into the headspace of, I'm going to be a puppeteer now once you slide the gloves on and you're ready to go?
Honestly, I don't even notice because of, always wearing gloves. It gets to a point where you don't even notice, and it's just natural, and you're like, I gotta put on a glove before the wear a puppet, and it just comes as natural.
So you must have been doing this for a little while. How long have you been a puppeteer?
So I started during COVID.
Okay.
So
6 years then? 6 years?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. What is it about working with the puppets that you like?
So For me, I got into puppets because it was something that I didn't just want to sit around cool and do nothing. So that's why I got into puppets.
And what do you think you've learned from doing it? Like, were you shy before and now you can come and perform in front of people? Or
I was not shy. I've kind of been outgoing. For puppets, but yeah, I guess you would say when I first started cool, like outside of puppets, I was shy.
Do you think that it's kind of given you some confidence to be able to have this in your for a hobby and for a job to be a puppeteer?
Yes, I would say it gives me confidence because it might do more opportunities for me to get a job and just increase my options.
Oh, for sure. So you're going to be going all summer with this. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so what does it take to get ready to go to do a puppet show?
Well, it takes a lot of practice. You have to be comfortable and always be practicing with the puppets and not have that break at times without a puppet. So, yeah, that helps us.
So I'm sure you're excited about this idea of having a new story to tell. Could you tell me a little bit about the story? Was it written by somebody that's Indigenous?
I will let you answer.
Thank you, Corbin. Yeah, so the story that we are performing was written by a young Métis writer here in Medicine Hat. Her and her Kokum took a lot of thoughtful time, and I believe they had these stories as personal experiences from the young writer's Musum. So her grandfather had lived in Saratoga Park. So these plays are highlighting life in Saratoga Park when it was still a Métis settlement. So yeah, it's an incredible piece of history that is still there, but it should be recognized a lot more than it is.
Do you think you'll be performing at Saratoga Park at some point?
Oh, I would love that. It's a little bit out of the way to be accessible for a little bit of everybody, but I think one would be pretty cool.
What parks are you planning to go to this summer?
So we have so many different parks. Strathcona, Lions Park, Southridge Water Park, Central Park. Oh my goodness. I think there's a couple more in there too.
Maybe Police Point or
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the great things about Medicine Hat is there's lots of spaces to perform. And, the way that the weather can be, I'm sure there'll be days where if it's cloudy and rainy, you might not have the same amount of people coming to watch as big an audience. But maybe that's a good time to go if you want to interact with the puppets afterwards, because you don't have a whole crowd of people lining up behind you to get to have a conversation. I would hope that lots of people get out and get to see these wonderful puppets. I'm so glad you guys could stop in today and have a little visit with us. It's very important for us to have neighborly conversations on the porch, and I thank you so much for taking the time to have a little visit with us. And please come again, and I can't wait to see you guys out in the public.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us. Hi.
Hi.